Welcome to the Family Imprint Show. I'm Joanna Lynn, and today I thought we would talk about the stress response that unresolved family relationships can have in your life. Think of it like a slow leak in your tire. We may not notice it in the day-to-day until one day you rush out the door, late for where you're headed, and you notice your tire is completely flat. Now you're meeting with all kinds of delays, you're late for what you need to do. Sometimes our life can be a lot like that. If we leave things left unsaid, we don't dare to have those difficult conversations, and then something comes up in life and we hit up against that drag of what's unresolved. And so a lot of the times in the work that I do with clients every day, we look at the health of these relationships, those essential ones, with your parents, with your spouse, with your children, those things where we just can't leave things left unsaid without some pretty major consequences that you'll have to meet one day or another. And so, for whatever reason, I tend to live my life for more of a prevention-based than dealing with the crisis that's kind of hit. And you may be a little bit like that too. What I tend to notice is the clients that come to see me have been with something, whether an unbearable part of a relationship or things have gone on too long and now it's like that rubber band that's just about to snap. And they're finally wanting to look at what's been left unsaid, what hurt feelings need to be resolved, and what conversations need to happen. Many times that can live between parent and child, even if that child is now 40, 50, 60 years old. The lingering effects of what went on really carry forward. We see them in our marriage. We see them in the way we parent. We bring them to work with us. You see, who we are in the family is who we end up bringing to work. And those same dynamics play out again. When I work with clients, I like to tend to support them with greater understanding as what happened and what's behind that. So what I mean by that is, let's say I have a client that comes in and describes her mom as cold, critical, finding fault in everything. Well, straight away I get curious about what happened to mom. What shaped her to show up seeing everything as negative or looking at everything in life through that critical eye? So that in that moment, we're able to step away from taking it personally. We're able to get a sense of, okay, mom lost her mom very young, or grandma had to go right back to work, or grandma and grandpa were always fighting, and mom got very little attention and the love that every child needs to thrive. You see, for any of us, we get our style of parenting from our parents. There is a fascinating study done when we look at attachment, this idea of how we come together and how we separate from all of our important relationships. Well, there were videotapes done between parent and child, how they interact, how they hug, how far apart in the room they might choose to be. And what was very interesting in the next generation, especially those parents who said, oh, I'll never parent my child like my parents parented me. Especially in those cases, they couldn't deny in the videos that were now taken all these years later how similarly they reacted to their children. The same body mannerisms, the same facial expressions. As much as we might intentionally try to be different, these patterns run deep. They're very much a part of our unconscious responses and reactions. And what I've seen time and time again is the more we push away or reject from where we come from, it almost amplifies the ability to have it be repeated. So if we blame our mom for being critical, if we use that example, it seems that we show up with our own children with limited patience. We're quick to anger, perhaps. So it might show up a tiny bit differently, but to our children, it likely feels very much the same. And the resolution there is to begin to open a sense of understanding, maybe even compassion for how our mom showed up, how she got to be the way she was, so that we can step away from having it be so personalized, so that we don't bring that forward into our family experience with our children, and that pattern has the potential to stop with us, has the potential to end and rest with us, that we're not just unconsciously replicating it, because we've done the integration, we've had the awareness to heal, so as not to bring it forward unnecessarily. And so whether what's unresolved in your family is something with your parent, with an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a sibling, it's absolutely worth your time and energy to begin to look at what can be done, even if it's you coming forward to say, even though this happened long ago, I recognize this was my part, and I just want to come to a place of feeling complete with this. So you take full responsibility. You have this intention to have it be finished. It's opening the door to invite love to flow again. Even if the other side doesn't reciprocate, you can feel complete with your part. And more often than not, the other side feels relieved, kind of leans into that invitation and wants that connection back. You see, there's something hardwired in us where we're drawn to keep those family connections good, keep them thriving, in fact. None of us are an island unto ourselves. So if you're looking to resolve your slow leak in the tire, let's set up a time to have a conversation. You can reach me at connect@joannalyn.ca. We can have just an open conversation about some of the challenges you may be facing in those essential relationships, and to just see if this is a match for what you're looking to achieve, if this style of work will support you in getting more of what you need in life, in your relationships, and even professionally. Thanks so much for listening today, and by all means, reach out with any questions or topic ideas for the show that you'd like me to address. Wishing you a wonderful rest of the day.